Hi and welcome to my Playhouse, and I'm back in Denmark after 3 weeks in Portugal. It's sunny here too, not as warm but sunny. So the garden has been exploding while I've been away, but luckily the robot has been mowing a little bit. I even had my good neighbor saved it. It had done something stupid, so it had to be saved and brought back to the docking station. But we have a new product here that we're gonna have a look at today, and this was kindly sent by well, I call it Fossibot Fossibot, and it's their 2400 F2400, and they sent me their green version. It's also available just in black. So yeah, we're gonna have a look at that. It's a power station. It does everything a power station should do, and I think it's very familiar to the one I have in Portugal that I used to run the concrete mixer just a few days ago. Yeah, there is that. It does have an extra cable though. I don't think I have this one in Portugal, that it can charge from a car. I only have this wire. So but yeah, it has the storage box on top of the box, which is very handy, but which well, I must admit I forgot that it was there, so I ran around and searched for the cables in Portugal, which was kind of stupid. So I'm going to be using this for my other project that we have been working on for a while here, and as I'm back in Denmark and not going to Portugal for months, I'm filling up the pool. So I'm going to be running the Fossibot in here. I had the pool filling up. I have a well or a water hole in the basement, so I'm pumping out water anyways from the basement, and I'm filtering it a little bit before it goes into the pool. And I see that I have a fly there that is using the pool a little bit too early. I want to get rid of that. Don't want that. There we are. Somehow a lot of flies has gotten in here, and they're up over under the roof here. So I hope that one by one I'll get rid of them. Not that many, so I'll be able to manage that. But I need something to run the pumps here. So I have a pump here for filtering, and I also have a wire under the floor going around in here for there's a heat element in the floor there, and that could also be run by the Fossibot. And usually I've had my power station living over in this box, and I think I have a mess down here, but I've had it sitting here, and I think that will work very well. I really need to clean up in this box. There's a lot of stuff in here that is not really needed in there, but I have had the power station sitting a bit higher here, so there's also a box for that to sit on. So yeah, that's the idea. We're gonna use the Fossibot to run the pool, and it needs some solar panels as well. They didn't supply those, but luckily I have some from another brand. I actually have quite a lot. So yeah, we're gonna borrow a set of solar panels for it. So there is some limitations to what it can do of solar panels, but let's move it in here first. Okay, so right now I am pumping out water from the basement. It's on a timer down there, so I heard it was running, so I thought, well, let's just get this into the video as well. So I am beyond the first tile at the bottom here. There's still quite a bit to go, so probably sometime tomorrow I'll be able to jump in and cool off. And with this pool house, greenhouse, it does really become nice and toasty in here. But yeah, we have our project over here. I have, well, I've actually cleaned out the box a little bit, and we have the Fossibot here, and I think it's time to go over some of the features that it supplies, and maybe even get it out of the plastic. It's a smaller unit. I think that it's smaller than the one I have in Portugal, which has more or less the same specs, but this one feels physically smaller. The display is also smaller, so it's as if they have shrinked it a little bit. It has a 2 kWh battery inside, lithium iron phosphate. It's able to supply 2400 watts of power out. I haven't been able to see if it can do anything more, like a few seconds of goodie, so that it can start something bigger. But this one has a special feature towards input power. So it has this nut here that you can turn, and you can limit how fast it charges. Not entirely sure that that is something that I'm going to be needing much. It could be a feature if you wanted to run this off solar power, like charge it from your wall power, and your house was charged by solar. You might not want it to take all the power, but just take a little bit. So it can take as little as 300 watts and up to 1100 watts, and that is on the AC charging. Okay, we moved a little bit. I was sitting on top of an ant's nest over there, so we can go through the different features here. First, let's go to the input. This one has a cover that covers the fan. It has one on each side, so if you're gonna use this, you open the cover here, and there's 2 fans here that blows air in or out. I don't know if these are the in or the output fans, but well, they're there. So in use, you should really open that. Down here is the input connections. It has a built-in charger, so you connect this directly to your wall socket, and it can charge with up to 1100 watts with just the AC input port. Then it has DC charging, which is, for example, your solar panels, or it could be your charging from your car, like the plug that we saw just a little bit ago. Also goes in here, and they tell you very specifically what not to do here, and you should not charge with anything exceeding 50 volts. So the DC input is up to 500 watts, but it cannot go over 50 volts. And you have to be very careful about your solar panels, what solar panels you connect to this, because some of the solar panels might be too much for this. But yeah, very important to make sure that you read the back of your solar panels and that they're not giving out more than 50 volts. Then it has a DC breaker here. If something goes wrong, this will kick out, and you'll have to press it back in before continuing. On the other side is the output port. Well, some of them. There is the other fan. Apparently there's most definitely fans sitting there. So you have to open the cover on both sides when running this, so that you can get air through there. Then down here is the AC output power. So rated 2400 watts total, and you get 3 plugs going out, and this one comes with the European ones. So awesome, good enough. So let's see the front of, let's see the back of it. Oh, we get some info, we might need that. So we get the model number, and we get the battery capacity, 2048 watt hours, which apparently is 40 amp hour 51.2 volt battery in there, and it should be lithium iron phosphate. They don't brag about that though. It does say total AC and DC output 2968 watts, total DC output 500, and there's a lot of numbers here. One of the more important one is this DC input power, and it can start charging from 11.5 volts. It's probably not going to be doing much charging at that stage, but it will start working at 11.5 volts and up to those 50 volts and maximum 500 watts. And again, AC charging 1100 watts and operating temperature and charging temperature and all that good stuff. So okay, made in China. One of the big reasons why I choose to review this is the price. These has come down in price considerably. This unit is just above 700 euros at the moment. It's a little bit more, but then they give you a 80 euro discount out of nowhere on their website. So for 700 euros you get this, and it's an awesome kit in an emergency power outage. Like in Portugal a bit over a month ago, there was a total power outage in Portugal and Spain, and the power was out for about approximately almost 12 hours, and the biggest issue was that no one knew what was going on and when power would be coming back, and there was a lot of panic buying and stuff going on. If you had this thing, you might not have felt it as much, because you would have been able to run your TV and other essential things. Blah blah, I'm rambling again. So on the front we have some connections. We have 2 of these. Oh, I thought that was 2. We have 1 of these cigarette lighter plugs that you know from your car. Then we have an XT60 connector. Both of, well, this one can do 12 volt 10 amps, this one can do 12 volt 25 amps, which is a lot. Then we have behind door number 3 something that is almost secret. Okay, we have one of those round ones, 12 volt 3 amps. I'm guessing that might be the same, and 12 volt 3 amps. So okay, so that's most of our DC. That's the DC that is not USB. We have a flashlight. I haven't turned on the unit yet, so that doesn't work yet. Over here we have all the USB stuff. So behind door number 1 is USB-C. No. Okay, I could have looked here. So normal USB ports 3.0. They don't write how many watts. That was on the back though. So yeah, there's USBs, and then is the USB-C connections, 2 of them, 20 watts each. Then there's 2 more USB-C. One is 20 watts and one is 100 watts. So yeah, and you can turn on and off all of this stuff on the box. So if you're using this section, you can turn it on here. If you're using the flashlight, you turn that on. If you're using the USB section, you can turn that on. On the side where the 230 volt AC output is, there's an on-off switch. There, that thing. There's a button, and when you do that, that turns on. I think I've been doing enough rambling. Let's turn this thing on. Power button is up here. It takes a little bit. You press it and it turns on, and then you remove the plastic here. Da, da, da. And it says it comes with 27% of a charge. I must admit that display could have done with some more lighting. So now we can try the flashlight, and there is 3 settings: blinkety 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 blink, blink 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 blink, and off. So the first one is just constant light. Next one is actually SOS, and the third one is just blink 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 blink, and then you turn it off. Awesome. And then there is this knob, well, which tells you on the display how much input power you can put into it. I have set up a solar panel here from a competing brand. This is All Powers 400 watt solar panels. Have a red wire going in here underneath the the thingy here, and we're gonna try and plug that in. I hope I have it plugged in right. So I must admit, I think the wire that comes with the Fossibot here could be longer. This is not very long, so I had to use my long extension leads to get it far enough out on the lawn where there would be enough sun. So I'll plug this in. Oh, I think it has turned itself off. Yes, apparently it wasn't doing anything, so it chose to turn itself off. Display is very small, so I don't think you'll be able to see much of what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna plug in plus and minus. There, it beeps. Let's see what we can see here. The input wattage is over there. Oh yeah, you can see something, including me. Hi. So at least we're getting 200 230, 235, about 200. That's, oh yeah, that's better. So 200 watts in, 27%, nothing out. I haven't turned on anything going out. Okay, we're getting good power in. I installed the app for the thing. The QR code is in the manual, and yeah, you can turn on and off different stuff here. We can turn on the USB power over here, and we can see that is now on. No DC output though. I'm not using any power, so we can turn that off again. So let's go and turn the AC on. There, that clicked, and that is now on. The unit has Bluetooth, but it also has Wi-Fi. So I think if there's a Wi-Fi signal for it, you might be able to control the unit from afar. So if I'm sitting at work and I want to turn on and off some stuff or see how it's charging or anything, I could probably do that. But that means that I would have to give it access to my network. And I don't have any network out here in the garden yet. I might be looking into that. I really would be very nice with some Wi-Fi out here in the pool area. But I can most definitely keep track on how much wattage is going into the system. But I think it's time to try and use a little bit of power as well. By the way, this can also be used as a UPS. As you can use 1100 watts going in the charging of it, the limitation is that you can UPS 1100 watts. So you can put this between, well, you can charge it from the wall, and you can power it, and you can power something that uses 1100 watts. And if the power goes out, the unit will keep that going. Down here I have my pool pump. That was a project from last year, and it's actually a low voltage pump, so it runs off of 12 volts. I though did the grave mistake of not reading it thoroughly, so it turns out to be 12 volt AC and not DC. I should check the filters here. I think I only have one filter for this thing, so oh, that's not bad. Yeah. Some living stuff in there. It's a bit slimy. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna need to get some replacement filters for that. Right now we're just gonna try and run it. Need to shut this off. Slimy. So to run this 12 volt AC pump, I purchased this little circuit board here, which makes DC, 12 volt DC into 12 volt AC. Oh, it's windy. So I can take the car cigarette lighter charger here that delivers 12 volt DC, and this little circuit board will make it into AC, and then I'll be able to power the pump. So that's a good test to start with. So we will open door number 1 and pop that in. there and power that. And we do indeed get some noise from down here. So there is not enough water in the pool yet to really do this well, but we are getting a little bit of water flow there. So what it unfortunately did was all the crap that I had in the water in the pump, well, it that came out. Well, that was, oh dear, that's not supposed to say that sound. Something blew and then it ran even faster. That's weird. Let's power that off. Oh, we lost the capacitor here. That's not great. So I need to replace that capacitor there. So, okay. That's not the power bank's fault, I'm sure. Well, it could be, but the capacitor should be able to handle 25 volts. And I doubt it that there's 25 volts coming out that way. Okay, so that part worked, but that let out the smoke, which is unfortunate. I need to go and replace that capacitor. Let's try something else in the meanwhile. Okay, so we popped this little capacitor here, which were a 220 microfarad, 25 volts. So I have I've replaced it with this bigger one, which is probably way higher quality, and this one can do 35 volts and it's still 220 microfarad. So let's try and pop that right back in and turn on again. And we do get some pumping action here. There's still not a lot of water in the pool, so it is it's not able to pump full throttle because of the water pressure, but it is pumping water around. So there is that. Here is the information of the pump, 12 volt, and that tiny little thing afterwards that shows that it's AC, and it takes 5 amps. So 12 volt, 5 amps, that's 60 watts. Then it can only lift the water 1 meter, which is awful. Minimum height is 20 centimeters. But actually up here, it is using more power because of the DC to AC converter. So that takes a little bit of power as well. So it goes from about 65, well, that was 54, well, 54 to 75 watts I've seen. Yeah, we can see the watch it's being, oh, it was just up to 85. I don't know how it's gonna react when there's actually enough water in here, if it uses more or less power at that time. But I have another thing that uses power out here. I talked about that heating element. Let's turn this off. I talked about that heating element that is in the bottom of the pool. It's a resistant load. So actually right now we are getting about 256 watts coming in. There, 58, 57. And I think that is about the same as the resistant load that is on here. So we're gonna try and connect that. And that we connect over here on the side. There, pop that in there and turn on. Oh, where's the button? There, and over here. Yeah, right now we are drawing a little bit more power than we are inputting, so we are discharging the battery again. which is actually not good, because you should really charge these power stations up completely when you get them from new. So we're not gonna do this too long, just to see it working. I think maybe you'll be able to see that. Would be very beneficial if you could get some more light on this display. That's a big minus of this power unit. I can see it. I'm not sure if the the camera might see it. It sees me too. Hi. Okay, the pump in the basement is running again, filling up, and the Fossibot is also doing its job. We're just running this filter pump down here right now. We're not running the heating element. I could run the heat. I can barely see what's on the display here. Oh, 46%. The display was off. 46%, and we're drawing about 70, and we're getting 50 watts in. So maybe I can zoom in on that. Difficult, but yeah. Okay, so it did not do the welding. The welder does use a bit too much power for a power station of this size, but I'll put the power station over here, because over here it's in the shadow, and it was sitting right over there, and it was getting a lot of sun. So it has actually been doing really well all day. Manual. Could we tilt it so that we might be able to see what it's doing? Put it. We need to tilt it a bit more than that. There. So I have actually just pointed the solar panels in the right direction again, and it has been... Why did the pump stop? The pump was running just a little bit ago. Oh, that's why. Okay, my mistake. So it's getting 150 watts in, and we are using the pump power, and that's about 60-80 watts. And it has been charging all day and is now up to 71%. It doesn't charge that much when I point, well, the sun moves, so the solar panel is pointing the wrong way. So yeah, this power station has done a marvelous job, and I am pretty sure that I'm going to be very happy with it. And really, a power station for 700 euros, it is still a lot of money, but it's most definitely coming down into a price range where, well, you should have one. So thank you very much to Fossibot for sending me this power station for review, and thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.